What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about AMC stock. I wanted to jump on here and just give you guys a midweek update, especially because now we are sitting at another crucial level of support. So we're going to go over exactly where I see this stock going and also where it went last time we saw another crucial level of support, guys. We're also going to be talking about that DTC ruling that I went over in my last video, as it is expected, if approved, to be done by the SEC any day now. And then we're also going to talk about that options volume. I talked about it in my last video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And I told you guys I was going to be keeping a very close eye on the options volume when it comes to AMC stock, especially with the potential for that new DTC ruling to go into effect, guys. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. For those of you that are new to the channel, all I ask is that you hit that like button and subscribe to join the family. If you're interested in joining our private community, it is the first link in the description. I have my private portfolio over there. I go over all my stock picks. And if you're looking to take your portfolio to the next level, minimize your risk, maximize your gain, guys, check it out. We'd love to have you guys. Let's get into the video. I just want to take a look at the chart of where we are currently at. I know we are now on the second red day going into it on Wednesday, but we are still green from that heavily shorted Thursday, April 1st, where we closed at 936. So we are still green up for the week, just to put it into perspective. Now let's get into that DTC. If you haven't read about it, you can literally go onto Google. I typed in the DTC, got approved. It was approved by the DTC, and we're still waiting on that SEC approval. But you could check it out here. This is the filing. It's a PDF format. It is 45 pages long. And there is a little bit of legal jumbo in there. However, the few main topics are really summarized on this article by the tokenist that I also showed in my last video. But I wanted to just point this out, guys. If you have not seen that last video, okay, basically it's the hedge funds would no longer be able to hide their positions by abusing call option in the money trading as well as in the money put options. So as soon as I made that video, guys, I talked about this. I said, wait a minute, I really want to pay close attention to where the options volume is coming from. Now, if you've seen my videos, you know I use barchart.com for numerous different reasons. I've been using it for a very long time. And I just want to show you guys the top 15, 20 right here. And you don't see AMC until about that 20-25 mark. I haven't counted these, so maybe I'm not right, exact on that number, but it was always up in the top 2, top 5, I would say, for the past month and a half. And now we are seeing that options volume beginning to decrease. And like I said, this is only the start. If it gets approved, these hedge funds will not be able to hide their short positions by abusing in the money option. So like I said, I might not be accurate on what I am telling you guys when it comes to looking at the options volume. However, I'm going to pay very close attention to it. And from the looks of it already, we are already seeing a decrease. So it is sitting still at that, 70 to 30% call range. So when, there still is retail traders, and I'm sure there's institution investors, buying those out of the money call options, or potentially it could be in the money call options by the hedge funds. But like I said, that number has decreased. So I'm going to continue to monitor this, guys. I'll continue to talk about it because I'm very, very interested just to see potentially if that does go into effect and we see this continuing to drop and drop and drop. Then that's when you just know the abuse has begun to settle down, because they can't get away with it. And guys, that eventually they're going to try to pull all the tricks they can out of their sleeves, while they can. But like I said, this one will be shut down, so that's good. Now let's get into the charts, guys. I'm going to bring this up on a couple of different levels. This is the 1 day, 1 minute. I'm going to jump over to this 90-day chart. I'm going to look at my other screen and make sure you guys can see this. Awesome. And we saw this pennant being formed right here. Well, we haven't really we've broken out of it, but we haven't really defined a direction yet. So if I zoom in just a little bit, you can see right here, we are now out of it. It looked like we had, we were going to be able to sell off, hit that support again of that $9 mark, kind of pop back up, broke through it, got rejected by that 180 moving average. And now it just seems like we're consolidating. So it'll be interesting to see really where this direction begins to take off. But I want to jump out a little bit further. Okay. This is the 1 day, 1 year, 1 day chart, guys. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in even further to give you guys a really good picture. So If you can see, this is where we've been at for a while. We've been hanging around that $10 support. Now, there has been a little bit of volatility, as you see with this big red candle and this big green candle. However, we're hanging out at that $10 support. Last time we hung out at support for quite a time, or quite a while, is when I mentioned it on numerous videos before, was that 550 support. This is when people are reaching out to me and saying, hey, Jeff, are you selling? Are you selling? Well, I'm going to give you some advice, guys. And this is when it comes to any stock. Okay. And I don't like to use the word never because, you never say never, but 99.9% of the time, you do not sell at a support level because, like I said, you're just selling at the bottom at that point. Okay, so I am seeing another strong support of that $10 range, and it, like I said, volume and that volatility began to drop off. So a little bit on that heavily shorted Thursday, and it looks like it's beginning to be a little bit shorter now. I mean, volume yesterday I think was like 35% of the 65-day average. So there's much less volume, which is bringing it back down to that consolidation, that same consolidation that we saw before. And look exactly what happened. Pop up, nice chart going up, and we went all the way from 550 to I think that high of about 14 and change, guys. So it'll be really exciting to see exactly where this goes. I can expect it seeing it hang around that support for a little bit longer. Now, next thing I'm gonna jump over, guys, and I know I've told you about this website before, pretiming.com, and always use this with a big grain of salt, guys, because like I said, this is a market. Okay, we are dealing with an actual market here, and nobody can predict what's going to happen. However, one thing I like about pre-timing is they use supply and demand as a ratio to give you an idea of where the stock could be moving, as well as looking at previous patterns. And that's why they call them patterns, because they tend to repeat themselves. However, they don't always have to. So if you look exactly of where this chart was moving, and we're seeing that same strong support happening in that $10 level, and they're predicting that same exact trend that we saw. So if we jump back over to the charts, exactly right here, this is where you see, this is where we're back at that support to be able to pop back up and hope and get higher than that $14 mark. So these next couple of weeks will decide to play out. If you look at where this really started, that first green candle was the 22nd, and let's say by the time it hit that high of that, let's say this one was the 18th, so it was about 20 trading days, maybe 18 trading days. Okay, so this next month will be very, very crucial, especially with the SEC pending their approval. You've got the reopening, the recovery. I mean, there was reports saying that, LA was going to be opening up their theaters to 100%. I believe it was either June or July. I think it was June. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was either June or July. Okay. The movie theaters are beginning to be much more packed. Many people are going out and seeing even more, especially that Godzilla versus Kong. I didn't mess up this time on saying that name of that movie, guys, but Godzilla versus Kong has, really beat expectations, and that's all good news for the stock. So it's just great to see exactly like I said where it's at. I wanted to jump on here and make this quick video, guys, to give you an update and just say, listen, this point, we've been here before, guys, and it'll be interesting to see the next couple weeks play out. So guys, that's it for this one, guys. If you haven't, hit that like button and consider subscribing, join the family, and then also check out the Patreon down below. There's a bunch of different training content that I put on there. There's a bunch of private different videos, whether you're new to investing, you're intermediate, you're looking to minimize your risk, maximize your gains, selling cash secured puts, selling covered calls, writing out leaps. It's all in there, guys. So if you're interested, guys, check it out. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you in the next one.